Welcome everyone to the opener here at Daytona for the IASRC. I am joined alongside Justin Ricci. Justin, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. It's been a very long wait to see all these racing all-stars on track, and now I'm really excited to get these duels underway.
Well, I think these are going to be pretty fun duels, so I want to ask you real quick, who do you think is going to win this race?
For this first duel, I think even though he's starting all the way back towards the rear of the field, like I know Dale Earnhardt Jr., we all know how great he is here at Daytona, and he's got 25 laps to make his way to the front. I think he can do it.
That is a very good pick. I'll be honest, I think I'm going to go with our pole sitter. I'm going to go with Max Verstappen to win this race. But for those of you who aren't aware, the starting lineup for this first duel was set by random draw, so that is how you're seeing these drivers coming off pit road. But here they come. They have fired up the engines. We are going to get this duel started very soon.
As these guys make their way onto the banking, you're going to see the many paint schemes based off of these drivers with the colorful colors, the colorful colors, and the multiple manufacturers putting the names into these series. Many of these schemes are based off of their drivers when their career was at their peak. You see Lewis Hamilton when he won his 7th World Championship. You'll see Kimi Räikkönen in his 7th Ferrari where he won his World Championship, and you'll see Kyle Busch in the car he won his 2nd NASCAR Cup Series championship.
Well, that's certainly a good way to show off their paint schemes and definitely a good way to come out in this series. And also, don't forget, in this duel, there will be eliminations. The bottom 5 finishers in this race will be DNQ'd and will not be starting in the main event at Daytona. Same thing for the other duels, but we will come back to that later. But here they come into turn 3, getting ready to come to turn 4. We are about to see these things come to life, and we're about to see these things race for the first time.
As you can tell, very long pace laps here at Daytona, but Field obviously taking their time, making their way through turns 3 and 4. Now, as they get back onto the front stretch, the fans will see them one more time before the pace car.
And here comes the pace car. He's going to make that hard left. The fans on their feet. We're going to get this underway. The green flag is out. We're underway at Daytona.
Verstappen is going to take the green flag here. That inside lane's going to get a bit of a jump over their competitors. But in that second lane, that's Ryan Newman. Really great plate racer, giving Max Verstappen a push to the lead.
And Verstappen is going to clear the 22 of Simon Pagenaud. Newman there behind there trying to clear him. It looks like he's going to clear the 22 for second. Newman is going to take it. Now he's going to go to the inside, going to try to take the lead. Verstappen's going to jump back up in front of Pagenaud. And now we have battle for the lead already. Ryan Newman trying to take the lead, and he's got help from Lewis Hamilton.
Notice Lewis Hamilton pushing Ryan Newman for the lead. Both Hamilton and Verstappen have had a fierce rivalry in their respective racing series. And we'll see how that carries over into the International All-Star Racing Championship.
And here they come to the tribal lead lap. It's Ryan Newman who leads lap 1. Lewis Hamilton is second. Behind him, it's Fernando Alonso trying to take third place away. And now it looks like they're going to go 3 wide. Looks like that's Joseph Newgarden there on the bottom trying to take it for third.
3 wide for second as Ryan Newman has already built up a considerable gap on the rest of the pack. That's not something you really want to see at Daytona. The bigger the gap, the bigger the run from the draft. We'll see how Newman handles this run.
It'll be interesting. Lewis Hamilton is going to need those guys behind him to get a little bit more organized. But other than that, Ryan Newman is up front. He's continuing to maybe put a little bit of a gap on the 44 Lewis Hamilton. But everyone behind them, all 3 wide, they're side by side for third. That's Fernando Alonso and Joseph Newgarden.
Top line stay together and get more of a run in this, but they are so disorganized up there that no matter what, you're just falling back. You see already Max Verstappen nearly outside the top 10 because the outside lane is just not organized yet.
And therefore and now we see Newgarden jump to top, and now he goes to the bottom. Now he's going to try to take second place away here from Lewis Hamilton. Newgarden or Hamilton really don't have that much help if they want to get closer to Ryan Newman. But right now, it looks like Newgarden is going to have the nose ahead, and it looks like he is about to clear Lewis Hamilton for second place with his sights set on Ryan Newman.
Here comes Chase Elliott, last season's NASCAR championship, to also hopefully maybe even join this train here of these three leaders. But it seems like Elliott is more focused on getting through Lewis Hamilton. Actually, no, here comes Mark Webber on the bottom with help from Jeff Gordon.
Elliott looks like he's got a little bit of momentum up top, and now up front, battle for the lead. Joseph Newgarden is going to peek to the inside of Ryan Newman. Newman's going to have a little bit of help from Lewis Hamilton. Newgarden is all by himself. His closest help is Chase Elliott, but he's a little bit behind. Elliott with help from Brad Keselowski, but Newgarden, power on the bottom, trying to take the lead away.
A very impressive move for Newgarden to stay side by side without help. But now here comes Chase Elliott to take the lead, 3 wide for the lead with help from Keselowski from behind.
What a move by the 9 car. He is going to take the lead at Daytona, passing Ryan Newman. He's going to get help from Brad Keselowski, and here comes the former Hendrick driver of Jeff Gordon. He's going to be 3 wide, man. It looks like second row back, but now they're 3 wide all over the place.
Saw in that shot, they were 4 wide, leaning on each other off of turn 2. Very fortunate that nobody lost their car, but in the end, here comes Keselowski for the lead on Chase Elliott. He's got help from Jeff Gordon.
Up front, it's going to be Brad Keselowski. It looks like he's going to come to the line. He is going to lead that lap over Chase Elliott. He is your new leader. Jeff Gordon there in third, trying to take it. He's battling with Chase Elliott for second with help from Bobby Labonte.
Gordon to the bottom. He's trying to take a peek down there. I'm not sure if he has the run just yet on the 2 car. Maybe Labonte has plans of his own and is trying to get behind the 24, but the 24 finds an opening and gets right behind the 2 of Keselowski.
Top 2 single filing out now. They're 3 wide now, 3 rows back. Here's Bobby Labonte, newcomer up front, trying to take third place away. Chase Elliott is losing a little bit momentum in that third lane, and it looks like Labonte's got a little momentum. Newgarden is clear for third, while Keselowski continuing to try to hold the lead. Gordon doing everything he can to try to draft off him, and now here comes Newgarden for second.
Newgarden to the bottom for second position on Jeff Gordon, and it looks like Jeff Gordon just up there stranded with absolutely no help, but Keselowski stuck between. He doesn't know which lane to pick. He finally decides to help his NASCAR teammate of Jeff Gordon. Not really teammates, but they're from the same sport.
Fair enough. Here goes Newgarden. It doesn't look like he's got that much momentum, but up top, it's Jeff Gordon trying to hold second place. Keselowski putting a little bit of a gap on the guys behind him, as they are still 3 wide, many rows back. Here goes Bobby Labonte trying to make it 3 wide for third. Not quite enough.
Very interesting to see Keselowski helping Gordon a lot through these races, despite their rivalry from all those years back. Oh. Now Gordon to the bottom. What a move from Jeff Gordon, but as I was commenting on, Keselowski, you'd think he'd help his teammate from another sport.
You would think that, and now, with that move, Jeff Gordon is trying to just go all out in this. He wants to win this qualifier, and now they're side by side for the lead. Gordon with help from Joseph Newgarden. He's got the best help, and it looks like he's going to have the nose ahead, and it looks like he's about to clear the 2.
They're still side by side. Looks like that outside line is finally organized, and these 2 are going to be able to stick together.
At the line, they were dead even, but at the line, they give the lap lead to Jeff Gordon. He has the lead. They're still side by side. They each got some help. It looks like that's the 2 of Newgarden trying to help Gordon, and the 6 of Mark Webber trying to help Brad Keselowski.
Nobody looking to make any moves down the backstretch. Both lanes very, very organized, but here comes Harvick to the bottom, and many cars are going to go to that very bottom lane with him.
You saw back there for a second, it looked like Will Power tried to get to the inside of Mark Webber, but he thought better not make it 3 wide because I don't think he would have had many people go with him. They probably would have stuck to the outside, but they are still side by side. I'm impressed that Brad Keselowski is able to keep up with Jeff Gordon on that outside, and Gordon has much more help behind him.
It seems like the outside line is starting to get a little bit more disorganized. As you see Gordon getting all the way out, as a consequence of that, is he being able to clear Keselowski? But Keselowski has a run on the outside. Gordon was not able to clear him that time.
Keselowski with the top lane help from Weber. He's got the advantage. Has a nose ahead of Jeff Gordon, but Gordon now with momentum on the bottom. Keselowski's losing his drafting help. Like you said, they are becoming a little bit more disorganized as they are 3 wide, just a couple rows back, and this could be affecting that outside line speed.
They'll continue to be side by side. Looks like Newgarden briefly took a peek to the bottom of Gordon and thought better of it. As they're still side by side, 3 wide, a couple rows back with Raikkonen on the bottom. And it seems like we'll continue to be side by side down the back straightaway. No car is able to just jump out and clear the other.
I'll be honest, coming out of turn 2 there, I thought Jeff Gordon would have been able to clear the 2, but Brad with that outside lane, he got a good run on the top, and he was able to get a lot more help from Weber, and he got a lot more corner exit speed. Therefore, he's going to hold the lead. Newgarden looks like he's trying to take a peek, maybe go for the lead, but it's not enough. Keselowski continuing to lead.
It's like Gordon continuing to hold that bottom lane, not letting Keselowski get far ahead of him to be able to clear him. And it seems like still two single file lines. They're double filed on the backstretch. Now looks like Keselowski might be able to jump in front of the 24.
Oh, he had it there. He almost was able to get down there, but Gordon had just enough help from Newgarden that he was able to stay on his rear quarter panel, and now they are still side by side. Nobody can clear anyone here.
No clear winner. We had no clear leader for the past 5 laps or so. As now they gave Keselowski that lap lead, but Gordon's going to fight back on the bottom once again.
Yeah, there's a little more disorganization up there. The Red Bulls and Lewis Hamilton are starting to make it a little bit more 3 wide, but Keselowski's got the run up top still, trying to clear the 24, but they all both seem like they get equal help. Here goes Harvick to the bottom. He's making moves, and that looks like it's going to be Graham Rahal who's going to be shuffled to the middle, and now it's Kevin Harvick trying to make his way to the front.
Names up here already, and they really did the sprint qualifying races, like you mentioned, Gordon and Keselowski. Is now Keselowski nearly got a big rush of momentum on that outside line. I thought for sure he was going to get him out of the triangle.
I thought he was going to as well, but now it looks like Gordon has a little bit of loss of momentum from there with Joseph Newgarden. It looks like Keselowski's got to run up top. This may be his best chance to clear the 24. He's got a good run. I think he's clear. He is clear. Brad Keselowski finally is going to take the lead here at Daytona, clearing the 24.
Fierce battle here at Daytona. Surprised that the outside lane, he's stuck there, and he did his best. Just shows how great of a restrictor plate racer Brad Keselowski is.
And now he's clear and out to the lead. He's putting a little bit of gap between he and the 24 and Mark Webber. But now we got some players trying to make their way through the field. You see more 3 wide. That's Kevin Harvick continuing to make moves as he went 3 wide there on Charles Leclerc. And it's seeming like he's getting it to work. So keep an eye out here for Harvick. He's making his way to the front.
Seems Gordon has also become clear on the bottom lane. 3 cars just in a single file train here. That's the third one is Mark Webber. And it seems like Gordon's been peeking to the inside on Keselowski.
Oh, and it looks like that's Mark Webber had the inside, but it looks like Gordon was able to shut the door on him. Back there, though, 4 car single file now. Here goes Will Power now, going to the inside for third, trying to take it away. We haven't talked about Will Power much today.
No, we have not, but it seems like we've got somewhat of a tandem between the 2 and the 24. Look at the gap that they've put on the cars behind him.
I could tell with how Gordon has been today, if he has a run, he's going to try to peek to the inside, but I don't know if that'd be the smartest idea. I think if they keep racing like how they are right now, they could pull away, but never mind. Here goes Jeff Gordon to the inside, trying to take the lead away from Brad Keselowski. Neither of them really have help, so we're going to see who's able to just have pure speed and can clear one another.
You called it. As they head into turn 3, Gordon went for the move, and it seems like Gordon's help has gotten there quicker than Keselowski. And it looks like Gordon has cleared Keselowski through 1 and 2. Let's see if he can make it down, stick down the back.
Gordon trying to keep the lead, but he's going to jump to the outside. He's going to jump out there with his NASCAR teammate, Brad Keselowski. Now it's Will Power coming to the inside, trying to take the lead away. He's got fellow IndyCar driver Joseph Newgarden behind him, and now Will Power going for the lead.
And it seems like the tides have turned. Neither lanes are very organized at all as we make our way through the tri-oval. Gordon still side by side with Power up there as they're nearly 4 wide through the back.
They are 4 wide. Look at that 4 car. Kevin Harvick is slicing his way through this field. Harvick all over the place. He's going to be to the inside of Leclerc, going for about 5th place. As Power, it looks like he's almost clear of the 24, not quite.
I side down the back straightaway. Both drivers a significant amount of help, and we're back to the outside lane. It's very disorganized. I'm not sure. Maybe Will Power will finally steal this lead away.
Yeah, I think you're right. He may have his best shot here, but now it looks like they're going to go 3 wide. Joseph Newgarden taking it 3 wide for the lead. Gordon up top. He's got the nose ahead. He might be clear here, but Newgarden trying, and now he's going to be side by side with Gordon for the lead.
A lot of side-by-side battles for the lead as we've got 3 lanes all the way through the rest of this pack.
Side by side for the lead. It's Gordon up top with help from Keselowski. Newgarden's in the middle with help from Powers. Now he jumps to the bottom to block Kevin Harvick, but Jeff Gordon is going to be clear to the lead.
Jeff Gordon has taken this lead back. He had had it a couple laps ago while battling with Keselowski, and now he's finally reclaimed it as Newgarden on his way back to the front with help from Harvick.
Keselowski trying to find momentum. He's nearly clear of that 2 of Newgarden. He's trying to get help from Will Power, but Newgarden is trying to get help from the 4 of Harvick. It's Harvick speaking to the inside, but now it looks like that bottom lane is really disorganized. Not much help down there.
Harvick's been very aggressive all race long, and it seems to have benefited him as he's jumped spot after spot after spot. Almost was going for the lead earlier in this race.
As here's Keselowski now. He is clear of Newgarden for 2nd place. Here they come off of turn 4. It's going to be 5 laps to go this time. Can Gordon hang on? Keselowski drafting all over him, trying to peek to the inside. Can Keselowski do what Gordon did to him earlier and fake him out and come to the inside?
And once again, the 24 and the 2 seem to have some sort of tandem going on, as they've put a big gap between themselves and the rest of the field. Harvick peeking back down to the bottom on Newgarden.
Yeah, they're beginning to pull away here. Keselowski looks like he's getting close enough. He may be able to make a move now as here he goes. He's going to try to go to the inside. Gordon gives him room. Brad Keselowski going back for the lead, and he's going to have help. Here comes Will Power in 3rd place. Gordon with no help up top, but now here comes Power. He takes it 3 wide for the lead.
The only help whatsoever in this battle for the lead, he's got help from his Penske IndyCar teammate, Joseph Newgarden, as now Will Power new to the lead.
Power in the lead. Gordon falling way back now. Brad falling back with him. Newgarden looks like he's clear for 2nd. Harvick has been taking some peeks, trying to take that 2nd spot away, as here goes Kyle Busch now. He's going to take it 3 wide for 3rd place with help from Ryan Newman.
Kyle Busch has been very silently in the rear half of the top 10, and now he is making his moves at the right time, making his way up into the nearly 4th position as you head to 3 laps to go.
Power continuing to hold the lead. His IndyCar teammate Joseph Newgarden is right behind him. Harvick is in 3rd. Harvick trying to peek to the inside. Now here goes Newgarden to the inside going for the lead. Power has no help, but it's going to be Harvick helping Newgarden. And now they're side by side down the backstretch.
Harvick giving a big push to Newgarden. Here comes Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch trying to get to the bottom of Harvick. He doesn't have much help down there. Newgarden able to get all the way down and block.
Newgarden with the advantage. Kyle Busch trying to peek to the inside. Harvick has a little bit of momentum up top though. Busch doing everything he can. He's got help from Ryan Newman. 2 laps to go. Or, yeah, 2 laps to go.
Kyle Busch trying to peek to the inside. Here comes Newman. After all these laps, he is finally back to these top spots. Trying to make a move on Kyle Busch. He didn't have the run that time. But Kyle Busch is going to stay right behind the 2N of Joseph Newgarden.
Busch trying to hold second place here. Ryan Newman now under Harvick for third here. Newgarden beginning to stretch it out on Busch here. Busch needs to pick a lane and get some help. Here they come off of turn 4. Newgarden holding the lead. Kyle Busch is second. Newman trying to make a run. But here they come. White flag is out. 1 lap to go.
A big gap over Busch, and Busch with a big gap over the rest of the field. This is looking very similar to what Gordon and Keselowski were doing earlier this race. Will Kyle Busch make a similar move once they get to the end of the back straightaway?
Newgarden continuing to hold the lead. He and Busch have began to pull away just a little bit. Newman back there battling Harvick for third. Here's Kyle Busch. He's gonna have to set up this move perfectly. Here they come into turn 3, getting ready into turn 4. Busch needs a run. Newgarden continuing to hold the lead. Busch is gonna have 1 last shot, but here they come into the tri-oval. Newman for second, but Joseph Newgarden wins the qualifier at Daytona. Wow.
That's only one of the 2 shows we got on tonight. And Newgarden came to the flag first, fending off NASCAR champions in the process, and he is on pole position for our big race later this weekend.
Impressive job by the 2 of Joseph Newgarden, holding off the 18 there, Kyle Busch. Ryan Newman made a last-minute effort there to take second, but it wasn't enough. Newgarden dominant today. That Penske car flying and to the win.
As we'll see the rest of the field single file out after an intense race, as we see the last 5 finishers will be DNQ'd. I'm not sure why our scoring pile. There they are. And yes, the bottom 5 being eliminated from the sprint qualifier are Max Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, Brad Sweet, Tony Kanaan, and Valtteri Bottas. But after this exciting sprint qualifying race, we'll be right back for the second one of the evening after the break.
Oh, hey, how convenient. A nice, crisp, open Coca-Cola energy drink.
Hey, asshole! Look. NASCAR Amino Energy! Get it now!
And welcome back to Daytona. After that qualifier number 1, we are back here for qualifier number 2. On the front row, it is Denny Hamlin starting on pole alongside Steve Kinzer. I am back alongside Justin Ricci. And Justin, who's your pick to win this one?
Well, I actually messed up before that previous race. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. is actually competing in a second sprint qualifier, not this one. So I'm just going to transfer my pick over, and I have the same exact thoughts. Yeah, 25 laps is plenty of time for one of the greatest superspeedway racers of all time to make his way to the front of the grid. I think he does that.
You know, that is a good pick. But you know what? I'm gonna go around where we saw Joseph Newgarden take the win there in that first qualifier, who is a driver for Penske, but I'm going to go with another Penske driver to win this. I'm going to say veteran NASCAR champion Joey Logano is going to take this qualifier.
I will say very, very good pick. Like Earnhardt Jr., as I mentioned before, he's a very good plate racer. Another good plate racer is on pole position by virtue of a random draw for this qualifying duel. That's the 11 of Denny Hamlin with 3 Daytona 500 championships under his belt.
So that will be impressive, especially starting from pole. That is going to be difficult for guys to hunt him down and take the win away. But don't forget, guys, it is just like it was in the first qualifier. The bottom 5 finishers in this race will also DNQ. So that will mean we will be having a 40-car field for the main Daytona event. But first, we got to get through one more qualifier, and I think this is going to be setting up for another fantastic race.
Yeah, last sprint qualifier we had some exciting racing from start to finish. Guys making moves, trying to make their best of the draft to get their way to the front of the field, and this is only for qualifying. This isn't even the big event. But as the cars will be in view of the spectators once again, pace car is going to dive onto the pit lane this time.
And here they come, field led by Steve Kinser and pole sitter Denny Hamlin. The green flag is out. We are underway again here at Daytona.
Denny Hamlin with a massive jump on the second row of Greg Biffle, and he's immediately jumping up to the outside lane to block any run from Steve Kinser.
And Kinser already not showing any fear. He's going to jump to the inside already. Kinser trying to take the lead away here, and he's going to take it to the 3-time Daytona 500 champion already on the backstretch.
Hamlin's already looking nearly beached on that outside lane, had no help for a brief period of time, as cars are already spreading 3 wide, trying to get any help they can to gain a bunch of positions.
I believe that is Scott Dixon there, taking it 3 wide, going for about 4th place. But up front there, side by side, going to lead the first lap at the line. It's going to be Steve Kinser leading lap 1. Greg Biffle down there on the bottom, battling for the lead with help from Scott Dixon.
By side through 1 and 2, Scott Dixon giving Greg Biffle a big push as they head onto the back straightaway. Kinser with the momentum on the top, though.
Biffle looking like he has a nose ahead. This is already beginning to look like what we saw in the first qualifier. The top 2 were very even and really couldn't clear each other, but the top lane already not looking very organized. Kinser losing a little bit of momentum, but he is still on the corner panel trying to hold the lead. At the line, it looks like it might be Biffle who led that lap. Yes, barely.
By side as they enter turns 1 and 2, Denny Hamlin trying to figure out anything he can to push Kinser further ahead. I think he even tried to abandon him at one point, but there was no dice there.
Cars there, all side by side, 2 double wide, many rows back, 3 wide, also back further. Kinser up top has a little bit of momentum. His help from Denny Hamlin has kind of stalled a little bit, but he and Biffle continuing to stay side by side. Scott Dixon now on the bottom, trying to push Biffle to the lead.
Now that top lane is starting to get a little bit deorganized. Now they just very quickly organize themselves. That 3 wide situation has pretty much been sorted, as Steve Kinser's being able to stick to the outside of Greg Biffle even after 4 laps.
I think this is Biffle's best shot. Oh, he was almost clear there of Kinser, but not quite. They continue to stay side by side. They both have pretty even help, but entering turn 3, Kinser is going to have the nose ahead of Biffle here, and now the outside losing a little bit more momentum. Hamlin dropping back a little bit. Kinzer might lose a little momentum.
Scott Dixon giving a big push to Greg Biffle as they enter the tri-oval. It looks like Denny Hamlin's gonna very quickly peek to the outside. Not sure what he's doing up there. Now Matt Kenseth is gonna look to the bottom of Scott Dixon. Couldn't quite get there.
He had the momentum there from Joey Logano trying to take that second spot on the bottom there. Biffle, he is ahead of Kinzer once again, but it looks like Kinzer is going to have that outside momentum. That's what I've been noticing, especially off of turn 2. With help, that outside is just like unbeatable. You're going to want to, if you want to be clear for the lead, if you're on the bottom, you're going to need to be clear before you enter the backstretch.
Side by side entering the tri-oval. I thought maybe for a second Biffle could have cleared him, but the momentum on the straights from the outside said otherwise, as Biffle just barely led that lap.
They have been dead even here, as now behind them, here comes Matt Kenseth now trying to take it away under Scott Dixon. Kenseth now trying to take third place, and he will take third. Kinzer with lost momentum, especially up top, not much help. They're going to be 3 wide there for third. Where's Biffle going to go? It looks like he's going to jump to the middle. Here comes Matt Kenseth on the bottom.
Might get a nose underneath, so Greg Biffle is going to hold the top spot. But a momentous run from Matt Kenseth, and who would have thought Matt Kenseth and Joey Logano would be working together here in the sprint qualifier?
That is true. That is very something I did not expect to see. But look at that third lane. Denny Hamlin, not much help as now. They went from the middle line, and now they go back to the outside. As up front, Kenseth almost has a nose. Can he get underneath the 16 of Biffle? He's trying. It looks like Biffle could be clear of the 11 of Kinzer, and I think he might be. No, not quite.
Get himself a run there, and now he has another. As they'll go once again 3 wide for the lead down the back straightaway. Kenseth could not stick a nose underneath yet again.
I don't know. That top lane is really prevailing right now. That bottom lane just doesn't seem to have the help and the amount of speed on the bottom that they need to push Biffle to the lead. And that's what's allowing Kinzer to hold the outside right on Biffle's door.
See Denny Hamlin stuck all the way on the very outside line. Nobody wants to help that 11 car, and he's just dropping like a rock.
He is dropping like a rock, but now jumping to the outside, Scott Dixon is going to go to the outside. He's going to get split 3 wide with, it looks like, Felipe Massa and Kyle Larson. But up front, they're still side by side. Biffle with a big momentum ahead, 3 wide still behind. Hamlin beginning to fall back. Kyle Larson trying to take advantage.
He didn't that run that he very much needed down the backstretch. That means Greg Biffle has finally cleared Steve Kinzer for the lead, but here comes Kenseth to the bottom.
Biffle has just not been able to lead any pure laps by himself, as now here comes Greg Biffle's former Roush teammate Matt Kenseth with the nose ahead. He is going to, it looks like, clear the 16, and now here comes the 22 of Joey Logano now into third place.
Not Kenseth. Biffle with a big run off of the backstretch that got him back side by side with the 17 of Kenseth. So we have no clear leader yet again.
Kenseth with a little bit of momentum the outside, beginning to lose a little bit of momentum. Looks like maybe starting to go a little 3 wide there. Kyle Larson now, as now they're going to go 3 wide for the lead. Joey Logano to the inside of the 17 of Kenseth, trying to take the lead away, but Biffle with the momentum on the outside. It looks like he's going to clear both drivers.
Not yet. Logano with the big run on the bottom. He's got help from Felipe Massa, as he'll be side by side on the backstretch yet again.
Joey Logano trying to get to the lead here. Biffle with momentum on the outside. Logano's in the middle with help from Matt Kenseth, as now we'll jump back to the bottom with help from Massa, as now it looks like it's going to be Joey Logano to the lead.
Logano looks like fully cleared the 16 of Biffle. Not anymore though, as they're back pretty much side by side. Biffle's got a nose up there.
Side by side still for the lead. It's Biffle with a nose ahead, entering turn 1. Massa trying to find room. He has taken a couple peaks under the 22, but just not able to get enough momentum to pass them, as they're side by side again down the backstretch.
with that outside lane getting a massive run, clearing the 22 of Logano. Is he going to be able to come down and make the block? No, he stays up on the high side for the time being, as now he's fully committed to making the block.
As finally Greg Biffle is clear into the lead. Not much around him as he is going to try to stretch it out as they're side by side for second. Logano with a slight nose ahead for Kenseth, but now it's Massa trying to help him out behind.
We're 3 wide, multiple lanes through the pack, except for the first 3 rows, as Logano's sucking right in behind with Biffle, and they've elected to help that outside lane.
As it looks like 3 cars are now clear. Greg Biffle is the lead. Here goes Matt Kenseth. He's going to take a peek, and now he's going to go to the inside of Logano. Kenseth looks like he's going to have help from Massa. Logano's help is going to be stalled out just a little bit, but he still has momentum on the outside. Got a little bit of drafting help from Greg Biffle.
Logano without any help on the outside. Now his help has arrived in the form of Steve Kinser. As Felipe Massa taking a peek down to the inside. Didn't have the run in the corner, didn't have the space either.
Kenseth with momentum. He was nearly clear of the 22 of Logano. Biffle, he jumps to the outside to block that run, but he's beginning to pull away just a little bit. Logano with the slight nose ahead into turn 3. Massa giving help to the 17 as now he's going to take a peek to the inside. Maybe try to fake Matt Kenseth out here, but it's Logano with the slight nose ahead here.
That second spot as Greg Biffle puts a big gap between himself and the rest of the field that might not end good when the draft comes back.
Kenseth trying to clear the 22 of Logano. Biffle jumping back and forth, trying to block either lane. There he goes into the middle there. Wouldn't say that's a smart idea, but Logano with a run up top. He's going to have big momentum into turn 3. I think he's going to be clear the 17. Not quite. Kenseth with momentum on the bottom. Logano not now. Doesn't have that much help. Kinser beginning to fall back a little bit.
Greg Biffle moving up to the top to block the 22 of Logano. Now it's going to come back down the track to make sure that the 17 doesn't sneak up behind him.
Biffle jumps to the outside. That's going to give a little bit of drafting help to Joey Logano. As look at the drivers in the back. Remember, the bottom 5 gets a D&Q, and right now, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is in last place and in jeopardy of not making the main event, as well as Travis Pastrana.
I'm not sure what's wrong with Lil Junebug back there, but he hasn't made any moves. He's been stuck back there the entire race. I'm not sure if the lanes have just been stuck in motion all the way back there, because we've seen cars make their way through the pack, just not from the rear of the field. Again, we saw last qualifier, Valtteri was stuck back there for the majority of the race, and looks like the same might be happening to Junior.
I mean, you could say he's stuck back there, but from what I've been looking at, that 8 car just does not have any speed, and that is surprising to see, especially a track like Daytona. You'd expect him to be up front and battling for these wins, but right now, he's barely clinging on to that draft, hoping nothing bad happens, and he even doesn't lose the draft. But let's go back up front here. Joey Logano has got the draft, and he has peeked to the inside of Greg Biffle, trying to take the lead.
An incredibly aggressive Joey Logano tight move down the back stretch, looking a hard left on his steering wheel to get to the bottom of Greg Biffle. A big run from the 22, but Biffle still led that lap.
Biffle has momentum on the outside. That is good speed up top. He doesn't have that much help from Kinser, but now here goes Matt Kenseth underneath the 22, and they're 3 wide for the lead. Matt Kenseth with a nose ahead.
Incredible move by the 17 of Matt Kenseth. Nearly none of these guys have nearly any help here as they make their way down the back. Felipe Massa doesn't know who to go with, but Steve Kinser does, and he's given a big push to the 16.
Yeah, right now it doesn't look like the 22 of Logano is going to have much help unless Kinser jumps to the inside of Biffle here. Kinser really doesn't know where to go. He's been going middle to top, but now it looks like he's going to stick to the top. Joey Logano with no help, as now we'll go back to the bottom. They're all over the place right now, but Matt Kenseth with probably the most help from Felipe Massa, and now here it looks like the 42 Juan Pablo Montoya tried to peek his nose underneath of Massa, but unable to.
Nearly cleared Logano off of turn 2, but Logano got that big run on the outside he needed to stay up front. Massa trying to take the peak. Realized last second that maybe it's not the smartest idea to go 4 wide, as we're still side by side into turn 3.
As much as I'm surprised, I would have never expected to see Matt Kenseth and Joey Logano racing this hard and side by side for the lead this long. This is incredible racing. Neither driver seems to be the favorite right now. They're just both, you can't really place a favorite. Anyone at this point could win this race if you make the right moves.
They are still side by side, very organized bottom and top lane until you get 3 wide towards the rear of the field. Logano is going to get another one of those runs up from the top lane. We're going to see, looks like Juan Pablo Montoya is looking to leave Felipe Massa in the dust, but no, Massa makes the block.
Logano with a lot of momentum up top. He had good momentum there with Greg Biffle, but Biffle's momentum stalled out there. He was side by side, but now it looks like Matt Kenseth has a nose ahead. Biffle has caught back up, but they are still side by side at the line. It was pretty even, but they gave Matt Kenseth the lap led. As here's Massa to the inside. He has a nose under. Can he get underneath Kenseth? He does. Here comes Felipe Massa trying to take the lead at Daytona.
Absolutely no help from behind. They're still side by side down the back straightaway. We'll have to see which lane prevails, the very bottom or the very top. But Biffle's going to very briefly peek down to the middle.
Biffle is all over the place. He's in between the 22 and the 17. He doesn't really know who to help. Logano losing momentum, but now Biffle jumps back to the top, and then it looks like he's going to cut back to the bottom here, leaving as now Kenseth's out to dry, and now he goes back to the middle. But Massa trying to clear them both from the lead, and he's got help from Juan Pablo Montoya.
Massa looks to have cleared these 2 leaders as they're 3 wide for second now. Felipe Massa into the lead of this race.
Not quite. Here comes the 17 fighting on the outside, trying to hold that lead. Greg Biffle is behind the 17, trying to help him out. Joey Logano has no help behind him. That might be it for him. He may drop to the back, but they are still side by side. Massa and Kenseth coming to 4 laps to go.
The line looks like Matt Kenseth led that lap without any help whatsoever from behind, as he still lacks that help. Greg Biffle trying to reach his previous Roush Fenway Racing teammate. I don't think he's going to get there in time. Massa clears him through 1 and 2 and makes it stick down the back.
And with all these 3 wide moves behind, we are seeing new players up front. Juan Pablo Montoya is trying to take second away. He's got help from AJ Allmendinger, and I believe that's Ryan Hunter-Reay trying to make a move underneath Allmendinger, and he's trying. He has a nose under, but now they're going to go side by side. Here comes Montoya for the lead.
Race lead as Felipe Massa is going to go all the way down to the bottom of the track to block with 3 laps to go.
Massa he is clear of Kenseth and Montoya. Now he's just going to have to play the blocking game. Who will he stay ahead? Montoya with the most run. They are 3 wide everywhere behind them. Massa holding the lead. Now they jump to the outside. Montoya trying to find momentum with Matt Kenseth there, but Massa continuing to put a little bit of a gap now as AJ Allmendinger is going to take 3rd here from Kenseth.
As though Juan Pablo Montoya has made himself away from the pack, and like we saw in that first sprint qualifier, we've got a little bit of tandeming going on between 1st and 2nd with 2 laps to go.
And if these guys have been watching the tapes, Montoya is going to want to maybe stay behind the 2 here in Massa and maybe plan out a move last second to jump underneath while he has no help. As here he goes, he's going to jump to the inside. Now the question is, did he plan it at the right time? No, he didn't. He's going to jump back behind, and that's going to hurt momentum, as because of that, Matt Kenseth now underneath him for 2nd.
Very poorly timed move from the 42 of Juan Pablo Montoya. If he had waited just a little bit, I think he may have been able to pull that off. But now Felipe Massa holding the lead of this race as they come to the white flag.
One lap to go at Daytona. Massa putting a gap on the guys behind him. Kenseth and Montoya continuing to battle side by side. This is exactly what Massa wants to see.
Felipe Massa with a little bit of a gap, but now Kenseth is looking to close it. As now down onto the back straightaway, Massa blocking 2 lanes at once.
And here comes the 47, AJ Allmendinger, trying to take third place away from Kenseth, and now Kyle Larson on the top. Here they come into turn 4, Massa with the lead. Here comes Montoya underneath him. Does he have enough momentum? Here they come off of turn 4, coming to the checkered flag. It's Massa, Montoya, and at the line, Felipe Massa wins it at Daytona.
Sure, Juan Pablo wanted to go there for round 2, and once again, the move does not work, and Felipe Massa comes out on top as we see once again the 5 DNQ'd. It looks like Jimmy Johnson, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Travis Pastrana. As we're looking at the time intervals, 1/1000th of a second kept Scott Dixon in this race and Jimmy Johnson out of it.
That is unbelievable. Those are really good Daytona racers, including Denny Hamlin, Jimmy Johnson, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. Those are some big names and possible threats that went into the main event. But after that, they are going to be eliminated. But as they come to pit road, man, these were fun qualifiers. Massa did a great job holding everyone off. And Justin, what'd you think of tonight?
I think it was incredible to get a taste of how these guys are going to run later in tonight's main event. And speaking of that, we don't got much time. It's very sad to see you go, but we'll be back later this weekend for the main event here at Daytona.
Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you at Daytona. This is going to be fun.